Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel SRK English Academy. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. So in this video lesson we are going to discuss one-way and two-way communication. So this is for MA English Semester 1 Osmania students and also BCA Sem 1 students of Osmania University. Before going into detail of our topic, one-way and two-way communication, one-way versus two-way communication. So let us try to know what's communication. So it's the process of exchanging information between individuals or groups. So here the information it is exchanged between individuals through a common system of symbols, signs, or behavior. Here the communication involves the transmission of ideas or feelings from one person, that is sender, to another person or another group, that is a receiver. So here we see a sender and a receiver in the communication process. And also let's see what are the types of communication. So there are verbal and non-verbal communication. So the one-way communication, so it refers to a process where information flows in a single direction. So it moves only in one direction from the sender to the receiver. So here there is no opportunity for feedback and there is no response, and without any opportunity or expectation for feedback we see in one-way communication. So the receiver does not reply or give feedback. So this is a major drawback we can see in this one-way communication. So mostly we see the one-way communication in organizations, and also here I have given some examples for one-way communication. So teacher giving a lecture without asking students for questions. So here there is no feedback or from the students. So this type of lecture is called one-way communication. And here also the general example we can see it's a billboard displaying an advertisement or announcement. So here that is an one-way example for one-way communication. Also watching a movie, listening to the radio, reading an advertisement or a newspaper, and the news telecast and TV channels. So these are all examples for one-way communication. So here the receiver does not reply or give feedback. So the receiver receives the information from the sender and there is no opportunity to respond. So that is one-way communication. So this is a chart showing examples for one-way communication. So public speeches and broadcasting. So you see political speeches, lectures. So these are no, there is no feedback from the audience. And also broadcasting, television programs, radio programs, reading books, reading magazines, so emails, reports, notices, and some brochures, notice boards, presentations, advertising, marketing campaigns, corporate announcements. All these are examples for one-way communication. So here the information flows in a single direction from the sender to the receiver. Next, in this slide, we see what are the advantages and disadvantages of one-way communication. And the advantages are it's fast and simple, it's cost effective, and it's very useful when quick information is needed. So let's see what are the disadvantages. And it lack the lack of there is a lack of interaction and engagement with the audience, and because one-way communication is a flow of information from in a single direction from the sender to the receiver. So there is no feedback, and the misunderstandings may occur in the one-way communication, and there is no chance to correct mistakes. We can't fix any errors. We can't correct any correct mistakes in the one-way communication. So these are the disadvantages. So let's see what is two-way communication. Here, this communication involves the mutual exchange of information between the sender and the receiver. So here, receiver gives a feedback. This is very important. So this is a merit of the two-way communication. It's an advantage of two-way communication is a receiver responds to the information and he gives feedback. So it's a back and forth conversation, and here it takes uh, more time, and the receiver is given the opportunity to respond and ask questions about what has been said or written. So let's see examples of two-way communication. Talking to a friend on a phone call, phone conversation, and face-to-face conversations, a group discussion. So the two-way communication advantages. So it's more clear and accurate. Here feedback helps correct mistakes. Okay. So it builds better understanding, and there are some disadvantages also. It takes more time. This is a disadvantage of two-way communication. This is the chart of two-way communication. So here in this communication, the sender sends the information, sends a message to the receiver. Receiver receives the message and he gives his feedback to the sender. So this is a two-way communication. So it's a back and forth communication. So this chart shows examples of two-way communication. And in-person communication is an example of two-way communication. In-person communication is also known as face-to-face communication. It involves direct interaction between two or more people, and telephone conversation, a conversation between two people or two groups, and giving advice. These are all examples for two-way communication. So let's see the differences between one-way communication and two-way communication. So this table shows the differences, and in understanding. In this feature, one-way communication is harder to understand, and in two-way communication, it's easier to understand. Okay. In feedback, feedback is not required in one-way communication. There is no response from the receiver, and in this two-way communication, feedback feedback is given. It is required, and more like a lecture. It's just a lecture or public speech. In two-way communication, it's like a conversation between two people or two groups. So it saves time. So two-way communication naturally takes more time because it involves feedback also. Here it is less effective. This is more effective because why this is less effective? Because the information flows in only one direction. Okay, so it may cause confusion, but here two-way communication is very clear and accurate. So one-way communication is less formal. This is more formal. So in no interaction in one-way communication, there is an active interaction between two people or two groups or two individuals in the two-way communication. And examples: TV, speech, poster. These are all examples for one-way communication, and a phone call, a discussion. These are all examples for two-way communication.